Hello and welcome back. After our attending the VCF East exhibit, we headed down to Baltimore in Maryland. Yes, that's the city that currently has a slight problem with their bridge. My, that was sure a humongous ship hitting that bridge. Ship sizes seem to have followed Moore's law in reverse, and that may be part of the problem. Alas, we can't fix the bridge, but we can go visit the System Source Museum. Good. Hi, Bob.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you. It already has my favorite table. All right, so we have the Motley crew. Bob Roswell.
Yes.
You know those two guys. Carl, long time no see. No, you don't exist.
No, don't break the lens.
Okay.
Here's a guy was chocolate craze. Very nice.
This is cray and more cray.
This is all craze.
Oh. Cray 1.
Cray 1, one of the CPUs from a Cray 2.
That's actually the prototype of the Cray 2. It's called the Cray Q2. It's the Cray 2. It's a cut down version of the processor that went into the production Cray 2.
Huh.
So these were still vector machines here, not massively parallel.
There's just so much plumbing to a cray.
They call it that vector language, I guess. Yes.
And this is a cray what?
That's the Cray T94.
Okay, also with plumbing. I never seen so many crays in one room.
This is a mock-up of the heat exchanger that they brought to trade fairs. There's nothing in there.
Okay.
But in the back we have the real one. It's a little big to get in here.
A little heavy.
A little heavy.
And that's a cray board.
It's a Cray C90 board. First, use gold on gold for the contacts. So there's no lead. There's whatever in some of the late 80s, early 90s Crays had issues with tin whiskering.
Yeah.
That's a big board.
Tiles.
This is my hand. This is huge. These are voltage rails,
Yes.
ground plane, and coolant channels. There's forest of wires. And then all the wires are at the specific length so the
Exactly.
signals
So
arrive at the
that's why
same
you have
time.
miles of wire inside there.
Right.
Did you see the tiny disc in the middle?
Yeah, and the rest is a big disc. Wait a second, you don't fit in the picture quite yet. That's the biggest platter I ever seen. It's a Bryant disk drive. Time period?
1962.
Wow.
Now these were OEM, so we have pictures of what appears to be the same mechanism with a
Univac brand.
Univac.
Oh, okay.
Is that the biggest ever made? For this
To my
product?
knowledge.
And that's how many megabytes?
195 megabytes for the whole thing, 8 megabytes per platter.
8 megs per platter. Yeah, but actually the 160 whatever megabyte, that's a very large amount for the time. More than a tape, which is unusual, right?
But what's also unusual is the costs. So we're at $12 million in 1962.
Where do you get that one?
An airline pilot was cleaning out a house in Michigan a couple years ago.
And there was just a PDP-5
It was a
laying there.
PDP-5 in the guy's basement.
Wow.
His wife was the realtor for it. That's the video card for the 338 display.
Ah, yeah, these are the best display. You might remember a similar display from our PDP-1 video. We even played Space War on it. 1024 x 1024 resolution in 1958. High res is nothing new, my friend.
And of course it has the light pen on it.
Uh-huh. Just from the EMI?
Yes.
So you try to make as many machines as you can operational?
Absolutely.
So are you looking for volunteers to help?
Yes.
All right. Well, guys, if you want to volunteer repairing those incredible machines, go to the System Source Museum. So that's from Bob Rosenblum, right? So he got part of his collection in the woods. The long-time followers of the channel will recognize many of the items that were once part of Bob Rosenblum's incredible collection of vintage computers in the woods. Much of that collection has made its way to the System Source Museum for everyone to enjoy. Yeah, HP never made an effort to have the thing look like a coherent thing, right? It's just you put stuff in a rack, right?
Because they were an instrument tool company, right?
Right.
Just buy things and fill the rack and then...
So we have the grand idea of them all, the 2116, which we still haven't gotten ours to run.
It only take a couple of days.
Right. Then we have the 2100, the successor. Alright, well I have to come here at one point when I finally get to my HP 1000 and we'll get yours running. Yeah, the Digibarn Link. So all the good collections finally come to you
they
in
end
it.
up here, yeah.
Right. And yes, you might also have recognized this computer from our visit to Bruce Damer's Digibarn collection back in 2021. This collection has also made its way since then to the System Source Museum. So these have been previously on my channel on some videos, but they have ended up
just in a new home.
Yeah, you know, that's where my collection might end up too. So great, first personal computer, really, or one of the first ones. Right?
Well, Wes Clark wrote about it as a personal computer and took a lot of heat because when it was new, it sold for $43,600.
Oh, detail.
1962, which is $750,000.
Right, it's like the Alto that cost $20,000 just to make, right?
And here's Mary Allen Wilkes in her home around the corner here.
Oh, really?
So this is the first documented home computer.
I think this thing ran at one point too. It still runs.
It's running.
What? This is the first.
Does it boot? Sometimes.
It dings.
It dings.
That
on
counts.
Occasion.
Favorite artifacts is theirs.
Oh, gee.
There's a real Enigma.
The Enigma is, of course, the German cipher machine that was broken by Colossus, Alan Turing's secret British electronic computer in Bletchley Park. So do you have a friend that has another real one that you can talk to?
Yes.
A little one.
Just have to convince the Cryptographic Museum to loan you the bomb.
Yeah.
Display, put it next to it.
Exactly. So I'll do 365 days a year, and we'll divide it by 7 days in a week.
Uh-huh.
And we should get to 52.14.
This is very hoppy. It's so small compared to the Frieden.
Yes, it's much smaller.
Right.
This is a chimp, console Peter, trained chimp. And supposedly you could point to 4 and point to 6, and he would point to 24. So he was brought to the headquarters of the National Cash Register Company, where a guy named Robertson patented the chimp monkey calculator. 6 times 7 is 42.
Oh, that's awesome.
6 times 9 is 54. 8 times 9 is 72.
That's how you should teach multiplication to children.
Watch this. 8 squared, because you can't put the 2 feet together. It's 64.
That's a proper calculator.
And that's one of those lust after things.
Me
you
too.
just never find.
Yep. So,
What is that thing?
so this is the computer from an M51 Skysweeper. So we have a radar on it. Let's go back here to the beginning. We have a radar that's tracking the jets coming at less than 750 miles an hour. A gun to shoot them down.
Well, that
And
was
an
fast.
analog computer to compute where to aim the gun to know where the jet will be when the shell hits.
These are Ken's favorite. Ken, you want to reverse engineer that one?
I'll get right on it.
There's a
Oh, it's
museum.
tube.
So is this doing the radar processing in this cabinet?
So we put the picture of them there.
All of the processing happens here. So this is a Sperry T something computer.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this one I know. That's. Well, actually, do I know this one? I remember another one from Bob that had kind of curved ends. Oh yes, there it is, the giant Donner analog computer from my 2017 visit to Bob Rosenblum's collection. Yeah, oh, this one adjusts enough buttons to it. This is perfect.
I need one more constant.
It's a heavy one.
Yeah,
It's about 800 pounds.
Yeah.
He made me buy a fancy table for it 'cause he told me all my furniture would collapse if we put it on.
Alto, this is the one we repaired. This is the Digibarn Alto, right? Wouldn't you know it? This is another old friend that was featured in previous videos and that I did not expect here. This is the infamous rat-infested Xerox Alto from the Digibarn. We have a lot of sweat and tears invested in that one, as we resurrected it from a pretty far gone state. But with the help of Josh Dersh, formerly from the Living Computer Museum, we finally got it to boot in 2021.
Okay, are we ready?
I am.
Monitor on. Monitor's coming up.
Okay.
We have a cursor.
You do? Oh yeah, it's booting!
Oh, look! How wonderful this is.
Alright.
Success.
Booting achieved. And here it is for everybody to see. Still works?
It did last week.
We are so jealous of your screen. The screen is so much better than ours.
Good shape.
There you go. Okay, so we have a little bit of skin and tears and sweat in this museum. You cleaned it up some more.
Stripped it. We powder coated it. It just, you can't have rusty stuff here in the museum. It's
Well,
just,
okay.
so,
Yeah, you did some more restoration after.
well, we did
after it.
cosmetic restoration,
Okay.
not brain restoration.
Excellent.
So there's David Boggs,
Yes.
who co-invented Ethernet, who also figured out how to.
Yes, I
He was
think
fun to talk
Ken made the picture, I think.
Yeah, we got to talk to him. He was fun.
Yeah.
He died about 2 years ago.
Yeah, recently.
I worked on these.
Did you?
They had one at Rutgers when I was there in '76.
And the successor, the 5110.
Really pushing 8.
And this one here is just a bigger version of this.
Yes. So you can think of it as the evolution.
The form factor, I don't think it's an improvement. Let me see.
So the Data Master is an important one because it was the direct ancestor of the IBM PC. The designers of this went on to immediately build the IBM PC, and a lot of the features of this went into the PC. It has a very important evolutionary role in the modern computer. It has an 8085 processor, so it's earlier generation. But that was a large part of the reason why they picked the 8088 for
They were
PC,
familiar with it.
rather than the 68000, which everybody wishes they had taken.
This is the display writer. This came out in 1980. It was IBM's word processing system, primarily targeted at law firms, banks, businesses, people who did a lot of correspondence. It had early software that could do things like mail merge, spell check, stuff like that.
I like this one. I like these kinds of form factors with the screen integrated, the keyboard integrated.
Powered on if you want.
Okay, that's an MS-DOS machine. That's an actual PC. Oh, with a nice IBM logo. Love it.
Quick flip-flops. And we have our first two in the register. Right.
And that's by our friend Evil Mad Scientist. And it's a replica of an original one. But it is better than the original, I would say.
This works way better than the original ever worked. So now we have the right answer. We have our 6 here.
Oh, I just recognized the camera we're missing in our Apollo setup. That's the lunar surface camera from Westinghouse.
Yes.
And the original version, the Apollo 11.
Apollo 11 version, exactly.
That's the one that got Neil Armstrong and climbing down. And that's you needed a special monitor.
That's the monitor.
For slow scans.
The pictures that we all watched, if you will.
And that's how it was in the lamp. Yeah, that's the picture. I would really love to see how the original camera works without conversion. You know, they had also something that they have never used, and I've never seen a picture of it. They have this high resolution mode where they can take a still picture very slowly at super high resolution.
And then beam it back?
And then beam it back. They could get high resolution picture if the astronauts didn't come back. And just the idea didn't sit too well with people that thought a little bit more through it. And they didn't use it. We should be able to make it work.
So on top
One
of
day.
the camera, there's a switch that switches it from 10 frames per second to 0.625.
That must be for the high resolution then.
What is this beauty?
This is our UNIVAC 490, a real-time system delivered to Goddard Space Flight Center, probably in 1962. And this provides telemetry. It's consolidating data from UNIVAC 1218s that are on ground tracking and shipboard tracking stations.
So this is the decoding of the
so there's one of these
the data
at each
yes
station. So there's one at Goddard, there's some in Australia, there's some on a ship where we didn't have friendlies where we could place a ground tracking station. It's going to radio the data into the connectors at the top of the UNIVAC. They ran 6 of these in parallel. It operated flawlessly for all 964 hours of Gemini 4.
It's the cabinet.
Yeah, it's quite a computer.
This one is Bob Rosenblum's, is it?
Flashback.
Okay, most
Next.
of it's filed in here, you know.
Oh, let's go straight to the UNIVAC at the back, because that machine is just amazing. I can't believe you are going to give that away. You should keep it.
Oh, what am I going to do with it?
Oh, just put it in your living room. Look at it.
End of flashback.
This one's kind of weird because it's mounted on rubber to keep it
Is that a
quiet.
shipboard computer?
Shipboard computer, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that, how neat this is. So that's a radar station?
This is a radar station.
Does that work with that computer? Is that are they some related?
They're
or?
related.
Okay.
He went to 2. He went to 2. 2. So I turned to page 2. That was all I had.
Oh, you have the same tapes as I do have. Yeah, 3420s.
So
that I still need to repair. I have to repair them, and then I have to find a place where to put them eventually. So I think I just found it. Alright, next time you're in Baltimore, head for the System Source Museum. But please don't run your boat into the bridge.